All right. Well, here we are again. There was a lot of stuff I was going to say, which is to finish up the Zagoda labor camp thing. Starting off is basically what I was going to say with that is that there's a lot of history there. It's just, people want to paint things a certain way and say, oh, well, you know, it's much more complicated than that. But that's where I was going to end with that. And also, basically, I was going to say is that talking about World War II nowadays is pointless amongst other people. The narratives and facts have already been laid out. It's not worth it. But to continue, I just got through watching another podcast. I'm not going to say their name. I'm not going to do that. But what I will say is that it's not going to stop here. If you think that it's just going to be statues and just defunding the police, no. It's going to go further. People are just is that everybody is just trying to play the winning hearts and minds game. They're just playing Wham right now. And everybody is trying to get on everybody's side. Or everybody is trying to get other people on their side for whatever area, And the sides are being taken. Everybody right now is just waiting to see who's going to take over and what sort of actual real life shit they're going to do. That's my view anyway. To me, I hope pretty damn soon I get enough money so I can get the hell out of Texas, because to me, Texas, there's no point for white folks to stay in Texas. I'll just start with that. To me, Texas is just going to become another South Africa. Texas will become another South Africa, where it's just like the narratives are going to be painted the same way as it. Oh, well, it was empty land, and Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna gave it to us, and whatnot. Oh, Stephen F. Austin, this and that. Oh, And to me, it's just going to be more of a South African type of thing, where it's just like, you stole the land and everything. And it's just, no. So luckily, as soon as I get enough money, I'm leaving. I'm leaving on that midnight train to Wyoming or something like that, wherever, I don't know. But there's no point in places, it's like if you live in the South in general, it's just going to get worse. But it's the same thing with East Coast and West Coast as well, it's like we've seen all the feijoa going on with, Chop and Chaz and everything else like that. Oh, well, they're passing out guns. It's all cringe. It's all gay. Yeah. Wyoming, Montana, etc. Yeah. And but yeah, I feel like this is just the beginning. And is it people that are more politically woke, somewhat like me. I'm not completely politically woke, but I'm somewhat woke on the ideas. And that I realize, these splits are going to happen. Yeah. Alaska pretty good too, especially if you want to go off the grid. Yeah. That's true. What I would say is that if everyone's, is that people are, the idea of Fed posting has become less cringe, because like we can see we're staring it right in our face. And you can't pretend, you can't try to make, I'll continue to make jokes and memes and everything else on this channel and on my Twitter. But it's like, in general, we all know deep down, and even it's becoming closer to the front, not just deep down, but it's coming more shallow. The shit's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Is that they, apart from a few lackeys here and there, the crack-a-lackeys, how about, I'm going to put it that way, the crack-a-lackeys that are going to stick with the black folks and, the Asian lackeys and all this stuff. They don't care about the rest of you. They don't care about people like me. They so it's just going to get worse. I'm saying this because basically I'll mask off. Third Rail. I was listening to the Third Rail. And they were talking about this at the end. Is that, yeah, you can feel bad about the statues, this and that, but in a way, we have to rebuild society the way we see It needs to be fit in. Once again, I'm sorry, I'm going mask off on this. I was trying to at least give the pretense that I wasn't being mask off, but now I'm just going mask off. It's going to get worse. And yeah, it's going to be leaderless for a while, as the people are going to kind of have to move in the shadows a bit. But that's how things are going to go. I think that, we're going to have to see, we're going to see more and more changes, and we're going to see people like Vaush. I hate to, I bring him up almost every other time I stream, and it's sad, but sadly, I mean, people keep getting into these beefs with him, and he thinks that he's won. Oh my gosh, Glenn Greenwald retweeted me, and people were agreeing with me instead of Glenn Greenwald. It's just, yeah. Watching Ryan fall back in 2010, I thought his balkanized USA was silly, not so silly now. Yeah. But it's just ridiculous. And of course, Vaush is still trying. He's still trying to cope and be like, oh, well, we have, I'm glad that corporations are supporting, more woke politics and this and that. That's just it's so stupid. It's just open opportunism. It really is just open opportunism. But I'm going to keep it there. I've wasted enough breath on that fool. But what I would say is that, it's going to get worse. And people are going to have to draw the lines eventually. People are, honkies in general are still trying to say, we're not racist. We're not racist. No, we would do anything we can to pretend we're not racist. That's going to change in time. It's just, I don't predict necessarily a race war, because obviously there's going to be crackers that are going to go with Black Lives Matter and whatever Black Lives Matter is going to turn into. Probably, just some sort of corporate control shill that it already is. But, it's just going to, it's going to become more and more obvious. And it used to be where, get a trade job, or, become a lawyer or something like that. Nowadays, it's just becoming, you're going to have to get in where you fit in. Yeah. I mean, very true, GSP. Yeah. I mean, so we're going to see this happen more and more, And we've seen all the issues with NASCAR and with, what was it, Bubba Gump? What was his name? Bubba something. What's his name? B-U-B-B-A. Bubba Wallace. There we go. Yeah, Bubba Wallace. And it's just, it's just ridiculous. It really is. Seeing these changes. But it was bound to happen. I think that I was reading something else earlier, and it makes a lot of sense, because, yeah, there is more of a, what's it called with the elite, elite overproduction. There we go. Yeah, where there's these extra lawyers, these extra folks that get, degree, these MBAs and whatnot. And sadly, I'm kind of part of that, getting my degree in marketing, but still, I'm kind of part of that. So we see that these things are changing. And everyone's going to have to find new roles. And I think that, people like us, we're waiting for what's going to happen. We're going to see who we're going to have to stand next to defend ourselves. That's really what it comes down to. We're going to, there's a, whether it's the generational divide, or whether it's this and that divide. And we're going to see who we're going to be standing next to. Like I say, I'm getting somewhat fed posty, but yet I'm being very vague and opaque. But I feel like that's going to be the way it's going to go. There's not going to be this sort of, I really don't see any sort of cheap sort of giveaway by the capitalists, or by, politicians that will pacify people. There's nothing that can pacify what's going on right now, and at least in my opinion. There's no way completely to pacify it. At least that's my view. I mean, I think also, though, on the flip side of it, I think that Americans are just pussy. I'll be honest with you. I can say that as an American, because I myself, used to have, some fire and brimstone in my belly. But, at this point, a lot of it's out of me. Not to say it couldn't happen again, but in general, it's just not as much. It's the same thing with, this whole business about Trump allegedly allowing American servicemen to be killed by the Taliban because the Russians paid for it or whatever, and Trump didn't do anything about it. So, we're coming back around to Russia again. Once again, 2016 never ended. It never ended. It's still 2016. It's just slightly different. It's just I'm a bit fatter and a bit dumber. Yeah, that's all. But that's about how it is, isn't it? Nothing much has changed in that way. And I think even I can agree to a point is that, Trump will be fine. If he loses, I mean, people, it's the same with, the Republicans and these boomer conservatives who are like, oh, Obama's going to, he's going to instill martial law. It didn't happen back then, and it's not going to happen now. All right. Trump doesn't have the cojones to do that. He doesn't. He was hiding in a bunker. So if he gets BTFO'd in 2020, which I'll be honest with you, I do secretly wish. Actually, it's not secret. I do wish it. When he does get BTFO'd, he'll be perfectly fine. He can go down to Mar-a-Lago and he can play golf or whatever it is that he does. And he can live that life. And you know what I say to him? Enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can, sir. He's going to have that Secret Service, detachment detail for the rest of his life. However, the 10 or 15 years, maybe, that's being generous, that he'll be alive. And, eventually, of course, we know Joe Biden will probably die or just end up in a hospital, and we'll be stuck with President Kamala Harris, who's just going to, who knows? I mean, Kamala Harris is probably going to be the one. But yeah, sorry for the dead air there, but I think that's it doesn't stop here, folks. It's going to keep on going. It's going to keep on changing. And we have to be able to adapt to it. I mean, that's the same thing with technology. It's the same thing with anything else. It's going to be constantly evolving and changing. And I think that's all I can really say. I was going to neatly wrap up my points, but I think that's about it. Is just be aware of your surroundings. As I've always said, be aware of where you are. If you live in the city, be aware of who your neighbors are. Be aware of what side they'll take. And, just, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you anything else about Fed posting or, join any group. No. I'm not going to, preach that anytime soon. Ultimately, people are going to do what they have to do for their own survival, period. Yeah. Network and protect. Yeah. The thing is, I mean, people can talk about Männerbuns and they can, talk about those other issues and, dual power structures, this and that. I know this dual, I think more of that phrase comes from anarchism, but I think that, maybe we are, this is another instance of the right taking from the left or whatever the case may be. But it's like, that's kind of what it is, Yeah. I think that's it, though. I think that we're all going to have to adapt and overcome. And that's all I can really say. All we can do is play it by ear and, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Anyway, see you later, folks. Thank you, GSP, for making your comments. And, yeah, I'll leave it there. Have a good one, folks. I'll try to make this the last video I post today, unless there's something urgent that's going to come up. I think that's it, though. See you later. Goodbye. Blink.